As the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, we extend our warmest welcome to you while inaugurating the 37th Asia-Pacific Regional Conference of Food and Agriculture. With the backdrop of our rich cultural heritage, strongly entwined with agriculture spanning over 2,500 years, let us take you on a journey through the many achievements we have made in the field. Throughout our history, Sri Lanka has played a leading role in the cultivation of rice, at times maintaining ourselves as a global pioneer and being referred to as the granary of Asia. We have championed the effective use of both land and water, maintaining best practices that have stood the tests of time. Our ancestors excelled in the efficient management of water resources by creating irrigation systems that have become the awe of the world, even to this day. Our lush tropical jungles produced some of the world's most sought-after spices, in particular, the world's best cinnamon, and we became a major supplier to the traders of the Silk Route from east to west. Today we continue to dominate the world stage, producing the best quality spices that are in high demand. As a land blessed with the geographical and climatic conditions that nurture ideal conditions for many crops, we have remained one of the finest producers of tea, rubber, and coconut for several centuries. The lush mountains of our central highlands provides the optimal conditions for the finest quality tea, which maintains us at the level of a leading global brand, with Ceylon tea undoubtedly a household name. With its health benefits and ever-growing popularity world over, Sri Lankan coconut products have steadily moved up to a prominent place in the global food and beverage industry. In the more recent times, Sri Lanka has become an exporter of tropical fruits such as mango, banana, and pineapple to the international market. As we branch out to other industries with ventures such as poultry farming and fisheries, we have also continued to explore new cost-effective and ethical farming methods. As the world moves on to technological advancements in agriculture, so have we, incorporating methods such as micro-irrigation and the use of polytunnels and drone technology. With the cultural shift universally, more and more people have begun making attempts to understand food production and experience the process involved. In this aspect, agro-tourism has become a new and growing paradigm. As the worldwide food and agricultural industry grapples with the challenges of the future, along with methods to ensure sustainability and eco-friendly practices, our nation, led by our Ministry of Agriculture and Plantation Industries, plans to play its part, amalgamating new opportunities with long-lasting and ecologically friendly solutions. We hope that this conference will help us reach our common goals with our shared commitment and dedication as we head confidently towards the future.
Ayubowan, which means wishing all of you a long life. That's how we Sri Lankans wish all our people who come into our country. So a warm welcome, a very good morning and a warm welcome to all you distinguished delegates. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening ceremony of the 37th session of the FAO Regional Conference for Asia and the Pacific. For me, it's an honor, privilege, and a pleasure to be the compeer on this momentous occasion. Right at the outset, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe, President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, the Food and Agriculture Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations which directs international efforts to defeat hunger and improve food security and nutrition. FAO has been active in Sri Lanka for more than 40 years and has greatly supported our country in implementing and developing good agricultural practices. In view of all this, the government of Sri Lanka has decided to host the 37th session. Ladies and gentlemen, the 37th session of the Regional Conference for Asia and the Pacific is a high-level ministerial in-person event. For your information, the first phase of the summit, the meeting of senior officers, was held in Sri Lanka from the 31st of January to the 2nd of February 2024. With the participation in person and virtual of all member countries. The state of food and agriculture in the region, agri-food systems transformation and solutions, particularly for smallholders and family farmers, was discussed. For your information also, ladies and gentlemen, the second regional conference was held way back in Sri Lanka in 1955. The conference provides an excellent opportunity as a group to discuss various challenges and emerging issues relating to food and agriculture and reflect on priority policies and technical work of FAO in Asia and the Pacific region, and also will provide an opportunity to agriculture ministers and senior officials from 46 member countries across the Asia-Pacific region to discuss challenges and priorities related to food and agriculture, while of course promoting regional coherence. Holding the APRC summit will provide an opportunity to the government of Sri Lanka to highlight the innovative approaches currently being introduced in the agro-industrial sector. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference mainly focuses on the 4 betters: better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life for all, leaving no one behind. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, to formally deliver the welcome address and to make his opening remarks, I have the pleasure of inviting a personality who, before being appointed as the Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industries, he has rendered exceptional service in many ministries as a minister, especially in fisheries, environment, wildlife, and plantation. He has rendered valuable and immense service to the agricultural sector. He has also started a youth entrepreneur village program to enhance the livelihood of young farmers. Through this, the opportunity has been provided to direct the young farmers towards agriculture. The service rendered from him to develop the agricultural sector by traveling to countries overseas is immeasurable. He has traveled to many countries and used his experience to improve the agricultural sector of our country. Without further ado, I have the pleasure of inviting the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industries of Sri Lanka, Mahinda Amaravira, to address you all.
Good morning. His Excellency the President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Director General FAO Dr. Chu Dong-yu, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to extend a warm welcome to the opening ceremony of the 37th session of the Food and Agriculture Organization Regional Conference for Asia and the Pacific. I am honored to stand before you once again as the Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industries of Sri Lanka, and my heartfelt gratitude for your active participation and engagement. When I recall the memories, it goes back to 1954 that we started our journey with a great commitment. We Sri Lankans had the opportunity to chair the FAO conference in 1955, and today I am proud to chair this conference after 69 years for the second time. With the commencement of the second day of our conference, the energy and the liveliness in this room are truly inspiring. Our shared commitment is to address the challenges in food security, sustainable agriculture, and rural development. The discussions in the previous session were insightful and constructive, setting the stage for the effective deliberations that lie ahead. Today, we officially inauguration the proceedings. Let us reaffirm our dedication to collaborative efforts that will shape the future of agriculture in our region. I am failing my duty if I will not mention the effective involvement of His Excellency the President Ranil Wickremesinghe for the development of the agriculture sector, showing his strong leadership skills. During the crisis in the year 2022, when the paddy cultivation was severely affected in Sri Lanka, the support extended by His Excellency and the FAO is greatly appreciated. As a result, I wish to mention we marked a rice surplus at the end of 2023 is projected. I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Food and Agriculture Organization and the country representative, Mr. Vimalendra Sharan, and his team for the continuous support and guidance. Their commitment to foster international cooperation and promote sustainable agriculture practices resound deeply with our shared objectives. With the spirit of unity and shared responsibility, we have the power to create a positive change, ensuring a future where food security is a reality. The impactful outcome that will emerge from our discussions and collaborations over this conference may our shared commitment to sustainable agriculture and rural development lead us to a prosperous future in the Asia-Pacific region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sir. And on this very special occasion, to address you all now is the FAO Director General. Before first being elected as FAO Director General, he served as China's Vice Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, MARA, where one of his achievements was to promote inclusive and innovative development and make sure information and communication technologies were available in rural areas so that more than 400 million farmers could use their smartphones as a new farming tool. Another national initiative led by him was to improve reporting of wholesale prices for agricultural products in China and foster the establishment of more than 100 specialty production areas geared for making local comparative advantages work to the benefit of local farmers. Without further ado, I have the pleasure of inviting the FAO Director General, Dr. Chu Dong-yu, to address you all.
His Excellency, the President of Sri Lanka, His Excellency, the Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industry, Chairperson of this conference, all the guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a privilege and honor for me to join you today at this inaugural ceremony hosted by the government of Sri Lanka of the 37th session of the FAO Regional Ministerial Conference for Asia and the Pacific. Thank you all for hosting us in your beautiful country, green, clean, and prosperity potential. This is the second time that Sri Lanka has hosted an FAO Regional Minister Conference for Asia and the Pacific. In June 1955, nearly 70 years ago, the second session of the Asia Pacific Regional Conference was held in Kandy. This reflects the long history and the close ties between Sri Lanka and the FAO. Sri Lanka became a member of the FAO in 1948. And in 1979, the first FAO representation office was opened here in Colombo to represent both Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Sri Lanka hosts more than 2.8 million hectares of agricultural land and 2.1 million hectares of forest area. So you can see the big potential, almost half and half Sri Lanka land covered by the green land. So it's a big potential for agroforestry and forest-based agriculture. So the computer is wrong here. Anyway, I can talk freely. So, and big potential for agroforestry and the plantation and tea and also aquaculture. And yesterday I had a very great honor and privilege to discuss the issues and the strong guidance of the president. And his initiative how to modernize agricultural rural areas in Sri Lanka. I think this is the real game change ideas. And if we are willing to assist you with our technical capacities. The point is, you see, when you modernize agriculture, you need the enabling policy first. Policy related to land policy, natural resource management, conservation. Second, also more important, investment, responsible investment. You have to take care of the environment-friendly practice, and also they build a new technology which is affordable to the farmers, especially smallholder farmers. And third, I think, innovation, technology itself. We need the consistent investment on that. That also takes a long time and long commitment. Sri Lanka, and during past 2 years, you faced the challenging time, and FAO, I got the clear instruction from the Honorable President, ask FAO to assist with all the potential donors and the deliverable people here, with my colleagues and with our partners here. FAO become the largest contributor to supporting you. We are honored, and also we are very grateful our partners and the donors supported all the activities in FAO here on the ground. And for that, I wish all of you to use this opportunity to discuss our common mandate. FAO, what is the real common mandate? First, to solve the food security and the malnutrition. And for that, we need also the action on the plan. And we need also all of you to discuss the common policy which we can share together. That is already endorsed by the FAO Minister Conference 3 years ago. New strategy, framework, and with 4 new strategies. First is strategy on science innovation, and another one is climate change, another one is private engagement, and of course we need a green production with a green style of life. And with that, I wish all of you have a good enjoyment and a fruitful discussion, and also to learn from best practice from the region among yourself, and more important, best practice from Sri Lanka. Salute Sri Lanka, and I wish all you best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
by paying homage to the sun. The people of the island work the fertile soil that nourishes an entire nation. Ancient kings regarded the soil as a giver, a life, and fed it through intricate man-made waterways and great lakes. The people of the island nation sought medicine and healing from Mother Nature. Healing rituals were performed to cleanse the body and mind of impurities through the recital of spiritual chants called slokas.
Ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest, the leader of our country, has always put a lot of emphasis on the development of agriculture. Well, it's very fitting now that I invite our chief guest, the President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Ranil Wickremesinghe, to address you all.
The Director General, Honorable Ministers, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, I warmly welcome you all to Sri Lanka and to the 37th session of the Regional Conference for Asia and Pacific of the UN Food and Agricultural Organization. The FAO has a significant role in Asia-Pacific region in promoting food security, transforming agri-food systems for sustainable production, building sustainable and resilient agri-food systems, which has relevance to the SDGs. Now, as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, we would go beyond it. It's also going to play a major role in the transformation of our economy. Let me explain in brief what we plan to do. You have come here and we are hosting this conference at a time when Sri Lanka is emerging for an economic crisis. A crisis emanating from the fact that we declared self-bankrupt. In 2022, we didn't have fertilizer for cultivation. There was a shortage of food. There was a shortage of fuel, and basically a shortage of foreign exchange. It's from this that we have come up to this level. Very soon we will be signing our final agreements with the Committee of Overseas Creditors at the Paris Club, and we will no longer be a bankrupt economy. But that's not enough. In coming to this position in such a short time, I must say agriculture played a important role. As I looked at the economy, what were the low-hanging fruits? Where could we first get our results? The first was agriculture. The second was tourism. It's a question of how do we go. Fortunately, we had assistance that was provided for us by USAID in giving us the fertilizer. We were able to access fertilizer on our own. That made a difference. By 2023, April, when the main cultivation season came, we were out of the woods. We had a good season, and I knew from there onwards we could go ahead. So that was first. And then throughout the year, tourism started picking up. So agriculture did play a role. Now what would I have done if there was no agriculture? If there was no food production? That's a big question. And again this year, throughout the last year, we were fortunate and this year again, we'll have a good crop for this season in April. And we'll go on to the second crop towards the end of the year. So agriculture did play, and remember in all our countries, agriculture has an important role, and agriculture can play a role in ensuring a country develops. So if you are ever in a crisis, first go for agriculture. That's what I could recommend to all of you. The second is, why did we get there to this problem? One major issue was the balance of trade. It was never in our favor, and we've been taking a fair amount of foreign loans, which we are not able to service. So secondly, all the agreements means we get a much longer time to service our loans, to repay them, but there's a catch in it. If we don't have a favorable balance of trade, this will continue again. In the next 10 years, we'll have the same issue. So we want to transform our economy and ensure that the balance of trade is favorable to us. We have three principles in transforming economy. It has to be a highly competitive economy. It can't go on domestic protection. Secondly, it has to be a green economy. And third, it has to be a digital economy. So looking at that, you talk of green economy. How does your green economy develop? Through agriculture. So you go into agriculture. You modernize it. You make it competitive. And you go ahead. Sri Lanka has a history of 2,000 years of agricultural exports. First, exporting grains, rice and other grains. For that, we are backed up by the hydraulic civilization. In fact, in that civilization, actually the money did not come from land. In any feudal society, land meant money. The richest of the lords and the monasteries didn't own land. They owned the reservoirs that sold the water. So anyone who owned land had to buy this. So that was the type of economy we had at that time. And the collapse of that civilization, we came down to the wet zones, and we are well known for Sri Lanka's spices. When the British came in, as price of spices were coming down, we got into the cultivation of tea, coconut and rubber. As far as high groans are concerned, still India and Sri Lanka are the best, and we have a monopoly, which we have to develop. But we have also neglected agriculture. We broke up large plantations in 1972, restricting land ownership to 50 acres. But we also, on the other hand, developed what was called the larger scheme, the Mahaveli scheme, which opened up hundreds of thousands of, 100,000 of acres. That's where FA also came in to help us. But we could not go ahead and develop it further as a result of the war. And thereafter, we seem to have neglected it. So we thought we'll go in for this. We'll maximize and we'll become a country that is that's exporting foodstuff, agriculture, and not merely crops, but we want to go in for value added. That is what we are looking at. A good example we have taken is from our friends in Thailand, which has now established a very good export economy in agriculture. So we are starting off. First is to reorganize the system and open it out to the private sector. There were many closed sectors, we have to open it out. Second, what are we looking at? We are looking at the most modern agriculture system to come into this country. We want that. And it will take us 10 years, 15 years, but 10 years is the target. We bring the most modern agriculture sector. But we have another issue. Young people are leaving the village. They will not take part in traditional agriculture. Bring in smart agriculture, you can keep them back. So that's one of the other issues that we are facing. So as we open up, firstly that our agriculture ministry was divided into, divided into 3 ministries. So now we brought it under one minister. He controls all, and we'll start restructuring. Firstly is a good delivery service. How do we deliver a good service to the farmers? Our systems had really ceased to function, partly because we had devolution and we had not done it properly. So there were competing interests of the central government and the provinces. Now we are rationalizing it, and the main centers, of which we have about 300, think in the periphery area without the plantation crops, we turn that into agriculture modernization centers where all who are concerned, public and private, will be there. We want to bring in the private sector working together with us, with the government sector. That's the best way, that's what we agreed, and now we are getting the private sector with it. We have to look at new systems of purchasing, we have to look at the new supply chain, cold stores, all of that is not available in Sri Lanka. You bring that in, and that certainly will make a big difference. We are privatizing. One effort of privatizing is privatizing the state-owned plantations. We are opening out land, remaining land under the Mahaveli scheme. We will also give land which is available with the state and which has not been utilized. That's for anyone who would like to go in for modern agriculture. There's another privatization scheme we are bringing in, which is the largest privatization scheme we have. Since 1935, we have given land out to farmers. All this land has been given out on permits under the Land Development Ordinance. No one owns it. Now we are giving them freehold title. Nearly over 1 million plus farmers will get freehold title this year alone. So the land is yours. So you're committed to the land and you develop it. So this is the biggest privatization I think we have done in Sri Lanka. We are giving them ownership and then we'll back them to modernize their agriculture. So this, in brief, is what we are going ahead immediately. Get the supply chains and then look at how are you going to add value. That brings me to the field of animal husbandry, where our production, milk production is very low, about 2 liters per animal. Now we've changed it. As far as the state organized milk is concerned, we are going into an agreement where Amul will be controlling it. And what is the target? We will look at 2 million animals giving 10 liters a day. So from 1 we go to 10. That is 20 million there alone. And that is about 200,000 farmers. So that's one. Then existing other companies are also stepping up. Nestle's, Fontara, amongst others. Then another Sri Lankan company, Ambavela Farms, they have sent production up to 28 liters per animal. So that's fairly high. But it means we will have milk not only for the country's needs, but all for value addition, especially for confectionery. We are looking at first the inland fisheries and then the aquaculture, and then we will go into the rest of the fisheries in the oceans. So this is roughly the plan we have, and we will go ahead. We will call in. We want to contribute to food security, and I've taken into mind, if you look at the population in 2050 when we are no longer there, there will be at least just from Iran to Indonesia, the population will increase by about 500 to 600 million. And everyone will have a higher standard of living, high incomes. And look at Africa on the other side, East and South Africa, there are going to be a big need for food. Together with this, we are also working on climate change. And Sri Lanka is committed to it. There are 2 proposals we have put forward. One is the tropical belt. Make the tropical belt a carbon sink together with the Indian Ocean. Make private sector invest in your grasslands, in your forests. What is left over is where I think the loss and damage fund can come in and help you to invest. But that means well over 50 to 60 to 70% of the lands will be invested. We have to be practical. No one in UK is going to give money to Mali, and no one in Finland will give money to Sri Lanka. But make it attractive. The second is to push this on. We will be establishing the International Climate Change University, a stakeholder university on which we are working. Sri Lanka has already given the land. We are talking with Republic of Korea, South Korea, on starting the building. But there are many other stakeholders who will come in. So the International Climate Change University will train a lot of our officials in climate change. So this is the contribution we are making. And finally, all the agricultural research stations in Sri Lanka will be brought under our Agro-Technology University. So we'll be ready for that. So this is the plan we have, and I hope you have your ideas you can contribute to us, where you think there's a shortcoming or there's more that we can do. And certainly, as I told the Director General, I'll be looking forward for help with the FAO when we transform agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We now move on to a group photograph of all the heads of delegations with His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka, the Ministers of Agriculture, and all other ministers present here, and the Director General of FAO, along with Ms. Beth Begdol, the Deputy Director General, and the Assistant Director General, RAP, Mr. J.J. Kim. Can we have all of you to please walk up for the photograph?